Hello guys and welcome to another video. This one is going to be me talking about builds, and this one is going to be a Heretic build, and I've been tweaking my build for Arisen Morrigan, and yeah, I think this is a really good build. I'm not going to show my build because I have minor tweaks in there that I would rather keep private for now, but I'm going to show you the power of the build, and I'm going to tell you what you should be building, especially depending on the items that you have. Yeah, so as you can see, first thing is first, I start out with 50% of my mana, which is good when I am trying to stay tanky. It's not as good with this build for Arisen Mori, but most persons are not going to have the fallen sky boots, so you're going to just have to deal with panaceaing and refilling all of your mana. But you can always bring a spell that is high mana consumption and one turn, so that you can burn your mana as quickly as possible. So I recommend the Old Northern Crown, as that is a basic one, and I think everybody should have that one. I recommend the Heretic coat, and that is because it has a bit of mana too, like the Old Northern Crown, as well as it has a bit of HP too. And then I'm going to recommend, boots are harder to get because the Ashen boots that I will recommend are a bit rare, but they're awesome. So if you do have those, you should be using those. Other boots that could work are any boots with both a good defensive stat and a good resistance stat. You're not going to find many of those, unfortunately. So the next best option is to get one with good resistance stat, a little bit of defense, and some ward, which would even be the Ashen boots. So you don't have to have the 200% versions to upgrade them. I would say anywhere from 150 is good enough, and you will find a lot of success with it, especially if you're using end game spells. But as you could see, Phase Spark is one of the spells that also works with this. It's going to take a lot longer to do your damage, yes, but that is to be expected. It's Arisen Morrigan, so there's no getting around that. She's very strong, and she has a lot of HP. So I'm going to use this as my final hit, as I think that should be fine. I think I should get to 17 million. I think this is fine now. And I think I can Twin Blast. I think that is around 50%. Awesomeness. I'm not sure how quickly I did it. 3 minutes. Slow. But that is to be expected. This isn't my speed build. This is just to make sure that I can survive comfortably. Granted, it is only a 50%, so I could technically be using my speed build, but I'm just showing that this build does have some merit. The adornments, you can use the adornments of your choice. I would recommend, if you're using a wardy build, that you have ward adornments in there. If you are using a tanky build, you can put more tanky adornments in there. You're supposed to put adornments in that support whatever activity that you're doing. So if you have like 10, 15, 20k ward, then you have to keep in mind that 10% more ward adornments is only going to be 1 or 2k ward. If you have 10k, it's going to be 1k. If you have 20k ward, it's going to be 2k. Is that worth it for your adornment slots? It depends on the adornments that you're putting in. So if you have stuff like Jewels of Creation, then yes, because they give other stats. If you're going to use random generated 2% ward adornments, then you might have, say, gold pinions that could give you a bit more defense where you're lacking. stuff like that. So it's all about supporting your build as best you can and seeing what works, because you'll be trying it and you'll be seeing if it works, and what doesn't work you're tweaking it. And I wouldn't say you should expect the world of the builds. I would say you should have a conservative approach to it and be grateful if you can do even a little bit of damage, because if you can go into a Mori and do 5 mil damage as an especially earlier game mage, then you're going to be fine. If you are a fresh T10 mage though, I do have a video for that, but this one would be more advanced tactics because I've already made that video. So this one would be if you are above level 230 and you're trying to now just be a little bit stronger. So as I said, all of those, I would not recommend sequencer unless you are at 240 and you are trying to use the, ooh, ouch, there, that was rude of her. I would recommend you use, and if I was using my speed build, I would have gotten through her so much faster that she would not be able to hit me. So the reason I like this build, as I said, is it's a good balance. It is accessible to people, and that's what I'm trying to show, that it isn't always just about speed builds. There are good builds around outside of the speed build category, and this would definitely be one of them. And this one can be fast too. It's all dependent on if your temporary buffs proc or not. That is what really determines the speed, and that is why I use double Lugos gauntlets, because sometimes you'll get them often, sometimes it will stay up a long time, sometimes it will come up multiple times. In general, double Lugoses are just really good. So we've covered head, chest, shoes, accessories, and now we will go for the main hand. And you guys should know, there, well, I did 9 mil damage in 1 minute, so that wasn't the worst. I just like my speed build so much better. But yes, so you would want, if you have it 150% or more, the Staff of the Chimera. If you don't have the Ashen Phoenix or the regular Phoenix, then you don't have to worry about putting in action rate adornments. And if you don't have to worry about putting in action rate adornments, then you can put in other adornments depending on what you're trying to do. So a good one would be the Ferocious Eyes of Seros, because that one is very strong, and if you are not using certain spells, that would probably be the most effective. Now keep in mind that if you are dual wielding, you will be subjected to the dual wield penalty for critical. So if you had 4% critical in it, it will scale down to roughly 2%, and that does not work on the action rate adornments. That's why I like action rate in my weapons and crit in my armor, and that is what I'm running right now. I don't have any crit in my weapons like that to write home about. Another good boot would be the ones available now, and I say good loosely, not good, not that good, but it would be better than most of the other options, just because mages have virtually no mage boot options. So that would be the, or what's it called, the Orphean leg wraps, the thing that has leg wraps. It's the only thing that is called leg wraps. So that one, it's kind of garbage, and by kind I mean it's really garbage, but it could work if you have absolutely nothing else. And the stats on it, it has equal defense and res, it has a little bit of mana, it has a little bit of HP, and when I say a little bit, I mean it literally has like somebody forgot to put I don't know, somebody forgot to double check it. Like, they are so bad. So the special effects of the robe, though, the leg wraps, would be that you have 10% follower strength. So your follower does 10% more damage or something. And you have 1% more action rate, which yawn. So if you do have it, I would say you can check it out. If you have Ashen Phoenician shoes, those would be the best. And then you can try the Fallen Sky. And I guess my second chance thing, my mana rush thing, does not work anymore. Cool, that was very bad. So this build is definitely not one for the solo Amory. This is just one to do 50%. In your offhand, you can have all sorts of different things depending on the stage of game you are. So I'm going to be talking about the 240 stage, and that would be where you could bring in something like a Kalandanda, which is really nice, really chill, has a ton of adornment slots, so you can compromise for the missing crit that dual wielding is going to take by filling it with even more crit. And those critical adornments give a bit of mana, which help you to utilize your iconoclast, your mana passive, a bit better, and you perhaps can use less mana potions in the process. Because if you notice, I hardly use any mana potions too. I just come out, I fill my mana, and as you know, you're supposed to fill it like this, and while wearing stuff that take away mana. So this one is taking away 430 mana, this one is taking away 500, 470, and because of that, I cannot go into the fights with full mana, even if I refill my mana right after the battles. So it gets me into my passive quickly, and I can just start dishing out damage, especially to weaker raids. So yeah, this one is getting a bit longer, so I'm going to go ahead and head out. I hope this one was informative. You will have the most success using the Heretic coat if you're using phase spells with Fey Glacier, is it? That is the 3-turn 240 spell unlocked by Heretics. And that one is going to make it so, the Heretic coat is going to make it so that you are not going to be frozen. So it would be the best one to use if you're using those, if you are frozen guard, especially because you'll have that 25% faction bonus. But beyond that, the others are a bit tricky to use. You can try them out and see how they work out for you. I would not try to use, what do I call it now, berserks, just because they already take a bit of a toll on you when you are running, because 1, they're 3 turns, 2, they are going to be giving you either a negative status effect, or they're going to take a bit of your HP, which both are terrible. So if you are one of the persons who has just a little bit lower HP, it might be difficult to work with it. But you have to try it and see, and then if you have any questions, if you need to know how you can tweak it, if you are running into any difficulties, I might be able to help you. So you can leave a comment in the comment section below, or head over to my Discord. I'm not gonna lie, comments are most likely what I respond to in my Discord. Sometimes there are just so many people talking to me, and then you have the messages too. And as I keep saying, like, I have a ton of messages to answer in real life, more often than not, that I am ignoring too. And I wouldn't even say ignoring, it's just preserving my peace of mind maintaining my peace and just, just trying to live my life normally before I was doing videos when no one was messaging me, because I don't get that many views yet I get so many comments. It baffles me. So yeah, thank you guys so much for watching. Let's smack this guy finally. And thank you guys for watching. I love you all who watch my videos to this point. The persons who won the last giveaway from my video before, you guys have still not messaged me on Discord. Remember to message me on Discord. The 2 persons who made the comments, the smiley comments, that competition is now done since it's been a few days. But those 2 persons hit me up. Finally, I would like to say thank you so much to my Patreons. You guys keep me going in a way that I cannot describe. It is just nice to know that people would take their hard-earned money and support my channel. That is so beautiful, and I really appreciate you guys. And I want to provide more value, or continue to provide some value. And I should just name them as I always do. I will shout out my private Patreons first, since they don't need to be named, and then my public Patreons: Wizard, Sexy Moto, Urban and Bear, Deluxe, Burton, and Erin. Thank you all so much. I appreciate you guys, and I hope this video was an informative one. And yeah, take care of yourselves, guys.